Oh, well, this is a big misconception in the industry. I thought they were pushing paper. I thought they sat behind a desk and pushed paper and wrote policies and never saw people face to face. I thought it was quite boring. Well, I have always loved helping people, and I really like the customer service industry, and I was very good at it. And after I had children and realized how important it is to have people in your life that you connect with on a business type relationship, you know, your bankers, your mortgage brokers, your teachers, your doctors, I realized how important an insurance broker is in people's everyday lives, and I realized it was a great fit. Why I got into it is I gave it a try. I did my studies, I started just being a customer service representative, and I realized how much personal relationship is involved. And like I said, I love people, and I love to build community, and I love to make sure that in life it's all about our relationships. It's about our community, it's about our culture, and in insurance you have that every day. Every day you're out there with them, with your clients, and they become almost like family. Yeah, when I realized how good I was and how much joy I got from making sure people were taken care of, making sure that I could save them money, making sure that in times of loss they had somebody they could call. Because that's what I would want. I believe, and I was raised with, you treat people how you want to be treated. And in the event of a loss, when you never expect it's going to be as terrible as it is, it's such a nice relief to have somebody that you know on the other end of the phone when you phone for help. They know you, they've met you, they're there in your time of need, and they understand what you need more than you understand what you need. My, and I believe a lot of people's misconception, is it's stodgy, it's boring, you're sitting behind a desk, you don't get out into the community, you don't get to be adventurous, you don't get that one-on-one with your clients. But in actual fact, it's everything I never thought it was. You get to have those connections, you get to be social, you are the driver, and it is an amazing career. It's an amazing career, and it's an amazing life experience. And you know, people always talk about, you've got to work, you've got to live to work, but when you work and you love to work, you have a great life. And that's what insurance is for me. Helping people and making the personal connections. Whether it's business insurance, whether it's personal insurance, there are people on the other end of the desk. There are people, when you walk into their community, you walk into their business, you walk into their home, they're people just like you. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's absolutely not sitting behind a desk. That is not what it is. It's got flexibility and it's got adventure.
Okay, well,
when I passed my tests, when I achieved my goals, maybe we could say that.
okay, that's okay. That's okay. We're working on it.
That's a question for Aaron. Oh, absolutely. You're continuously learning. You're learning as the industry changes, and you're learning about the needs of your clients, because our whole world is changing, you know, and insurance changes with it. So the misconception is it's old, stodgy, it's been around for hundreds of years, and that's what you get stuck with each day. It's not. We have to change our underwriting, we have to change our customer service, we have to change our policies, we have to change with the times. And that's what people don't understand about insurance. It's moving just as fast as the rest of the world.
In terms of changes, not only has insurance changed, but did you change?
Absolutely. I've learned so much, and the opportunities that have been given to me and that I've chosen to take or maybe not take. The thing with insurance is there's choice. You can go in so many different directions. I think it's extremely important. I believe in life, but with an industry such as insurance, it's a really nice blend of old meets new. So you've got the history, you've got the wisdom, and with young brokers coming up and matching with the mentor, you get a wonderful mix of generational knowledge. Well, mentoring is very important in insurance and in, okay, I can't do it. We got to start again.
So how important is it? Answer your own way.
How important is mentoring? Okay, can I start now? Okay.
Whenever you want.
Mentoring is extremely important in this industry. Something that's very important is mentoring in this industry. And the reason mentoring in insurance is so important is because it's bringing the wisdom of the past up to speed with the freshness and the excitement of the young generation. So you have a really nice blend of the history and the outlook of our youth and of the newer generations, the younger generations blending, and it becomes a beautiful package that helps everybody. It helps our industry, it helps our clients, it helps the future. The word helping fits into my career because day in and day out, you're helping. You're helping your clients, you're helping your underwriters, you're helping the new mom who just realized she, has saved for decades to buy a place and she needs insurance. You're helping a new business owner understand the particulars of their new policy for their new adventure in life. You're helping the younger generation to understand what insurance is and why it's important to get it and why it's important to start young. It's something that everybody needs, and you hope that you never have to use it. But when you do, the most satisfying part is being there when somebody has had a terrible loss and they need a friend, they need an expert, they need a professional, and that's what insurance is. You're there when people need you. There's so much growth in insurance. There's so many avenues. You can go in so many different directions. It's not sitting behind a desk. It's not answering phones 24 hours a day or 8 hours of paper pushing. You can become an underwriter. You can become a lawyer. You can become a broker. You could become, the opportunities are endless. The first client that I ever helped was a woman who had never looked at her policies. She'd never spent the time. She walked in the door, she's newly retired, and I went through everything with her, and she'd had 2 or 3 different times she could have made a claim, and it would have helped her financially, and it would have helped her emotionally. And realizing that all she needed to do was reach out and speak to her broker at the time, that wasn't me, it made me realize that communication is important. Whether it's, like I said, with your teacher, your banker, your doctor, your insurance broker, there's no replacement. And she's my first client.
This is what's
I'll tell you why you should be a broker. You should be a broker because it's exciting. The opportunities are endless. If you're somebody that enjoys helping people and wants to make a connection with the people that you're dealing with day in and day out, being a broker is that profession. The opportunities are endless. You can go as far as you want to go. It's got different, each day is an exciting opportunity. You never know what you're going to get when you walk through that door, or when you walk into your client's office or their restaurant or their home. It's exciting.
Well, it's a family business, so my family's been in insurance for 45 years now. And I actually started as a receptionist, funnily enough, and kind of just did my courses and worked my way up, and now I'm a commercial insurance broker. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a conscientious decision I made. I kind of fell into it, so to speak. And it wasn't a decision, but it's the best decision I've ever made. Because it's a rewarding career, it's a stable career. I'm constantly helping people, and no day is ever the same. I think it's when I finally started to see a future in it, when I started finally to understand the industry and understand the coverages and see that I was making a difference in people's lives. The relationships, it's meeting people, it's getting out of the office, going to my clients' place of businesses, learning about their operations, and then finding an insurance solution for them. Being a broker is very flexible. I decide how my day is going to unfold, but at the same time, if a client calls me and there's a claim, you have to respond to that first and foremost. So you can plan out your day as much as you want to, but it's an unpredictable day because you never know what's going to happen, what claim is going to unfold, and where your client will need you. Because it never gets boring. Insurance is a changing industry, and it's keeping pace with our changing world. I would say that being a broker is very rewarding because you're helping people. You can make as much of it as you want, and it's how I help people. Well, so I'm a commercial insurance broker, and I'm facilitating business. So if you want to open a new flower shop, for example, you're going to sign a lease with your landlord. Before you can even get the keys to that, you need insurance to show your landlord that you have insurance to cover that space. So I'm facilitating business and I'm helping people earn a living as well, while at the same time I'm earning a living. Absolutely. I know so much about so many industries that I would never have known anything about before, just based on my interactions with my clients, getting to go to their places of business, seeing their places of business, learning about it. I'm always learning, and it's very interesting. Just in being confident in being able to help people and knowing which policy or which coverage is right for my clients. And I'm a trusted advisor to my clients. When they have a problem or they need an insurance solution, they are coming to me as their trusted advisor. And that gives me confidence in being able to help someone. Absolutely, yeah. So a lot of people start out selling auto plan insurance policies, and then they might get into personal lines, so they sell homeowners and tenants policies, and eventually maybe become commercial insurance brokers. Well, you're always learning because you're going to be presented with possibly a new risk that you might not be familiar with, which is a challenge at first. But as you confront that challenge and learn more about it, you're building confidence in your abilities and adding more to your tool. Being a broker is not black and white. Like I said, the industry is constantly changing, keeping up with the fast-paced world around us, and that's exciting. As we all know, baby boomers are fast approaching retirement, and there's a lot of opportunity opening up in the industry. Lots of jobs, lots of clients that need to be taken care of. Those businesses aren't going to go away, so there's lots of opportunity. Yeah, being a broker is very lucrative, and basically the sky's the limit. You make it what you want. So if you're ambitious and hardworking and driven, the sky's the limit. So being a trusted advisor to my clients is really important. When they have a problem, when they're buying a new business, buying a new home, they go to their lawyer, their mortgage broker, and their insurance professional. And being one of those trusted advisors in the same class as a lawyer or a banker is rewarding. Yes, absolutely. People are trusting you with their homes, with their financial decisions, with their businesses, and so you have to be upfront and honest and really know the right policy for that person. I think at first you're just you're attracted to the industry because there's a lot of job openings. I'm attracted to the insurance industry because it's always changing, and I love helping people, and I'm constantly helping people every day. Absolutely, yeah. It's very much in a relationship industry. You're getting out there every day, meeting your clients, learning about their businesses, seeing them face to face every day. Yeah, as soon as you're licensed, you're up front of the counter selling auto plan policies, meeting people, learning about them, a bit about their lives, and that's really rewarding. You can jump right into it. It doesn't take a lot of courses, years of education. You can get right into it.
I fell into it, the way a lot of people do, I think. I was taking a university degree. I got my degree to get into teaching, and I needed to wait an extra year to get my teaching certificate. So during that time that I was waiting to get it back into that program, I was working part-time in insurance and just ended up staying there.
Why did you stay?
It was, well, at the time it was a good job for a good well-paying job for a student that was broke coming out of university, and once I started getting really involved in it, I found I actually really enjoyed it. I found it quite enjoyable to interact with people all the time. It's this job. My whole career has been about people and interacting with people. Well, I really enjoyed, say, solving problems for people, and as an insurance broker, people come to you with all kinds of different situations that they need help with, and I've always been the type of person that enjoys helping people, and that's certainly, as an insurance broker, you get to help. I did, absolutely. The stigma, I guess, around insurance is that it's quite a boring profession for people that are locked in an office and on their computer all day. But there is an element to that, I suppose, but there sure is a whole other element of camaraderie and working with your clients and working with your peers and your coworkers and even your competitors. Very often you're out at functions where you are having a drink with the person that you just battled over policy with. So there is an element of I guess, of that camaraderie across the whole industry.
Is there?
There's huge flexibility in there. Of course, you're sort of I guess, start out as in an office environment, so you're sort of put the time in that you need to learn, about insurance. But then once you sort of get involved in it, you're able to, I guess, pick which path that you want to go on as an industry.
Talk about mentoring.
Yeah, mentoring is absolutely huge. It's say I've been in the industry a long time, and I wanted to be a teacher to start with. So insurance has given me the opportunity to actually teach all throughout my career. I taught courses for the Insurance Brokers Association for years. I taught CABE courses, and now with my position as a commercial broker, I've got a lot of people that work for me that I'm able to work with as well and teach. So mentoring and teaching and education, I was able to actually be a teacher and be an insurance broker at the same time. Oh, absolutely. It's a huge growth potential. And again, when you start out, you're usually looking at your front line, and you're looking at selling, simple personal products. But then there's opportunities to expand way beyond, it's just selling auto insurance into home insurance, into commercial insurance, and there's all kinds of different avenues you can take if you choose to. Actually, I had this conversation with my 19-year-old daughter fairly recently, who was looking at what to do with the rest of her life. And I told her, you know what, insurance might not be for you, but it might be worth an opportunity for you to have a look at it, because it's certainly worked wonders for me. And it gives you an opportunity you work with people, you make very good money, and you're able to, I guess, help people in such a way that you can't imagine ever being able to help them. Well, I think as an insurance broker, you really need to trust people. You're selling a policy of trust, so I think you have to come across as being trustworthy in return for that. You also have to be, I guess, you have to be a little bit analytical in being able to, look at a policy and understand a policy, and you have to be a teacher to be able to explain a policy to somebody who has no idea what they're looking at.
Whoa, crash. And go ahead.
As an insurance broker, it's a very dynamic job. There are constant changes, constant challenges, and it's ever, I don't know what I'm saying now. Sorry. Sure. So as an insurance broker, it's a very dynamic job. You're constantly facing change, you're constantly facing challenge. And it's how you assert yourself against those challenges that really make it into an exciting job.
Perfect. Well done. We're done. Your impressions of the business?
Oh, that was a long time ago. I don't really remember what my impressions were. I just knew it was something I started. A friend of mine had just finished her exam, her licensing, and handed me her textbook and said, you should try this. So I did, and my first 6 months in there, I moved really quickly from auto into personal lines just for the need of it. She just said, try it. She's not in the business anymore. She lasted about a year, and her path led to where I needed to be. As a young person, you get to interact with people on a regular basis. For me, that was important. I like to talk to people. I like to help people, and it's constant learning. There is so much flexibility in insurance. You can do auto, you can do personal lines, commercial. Sky's the limit. Depends on what you want to do. You have to get educational credits every year, and you learn something new pretty much every day. For somebody who likes to learn, it's really satisfying. I'm not high on learning, but I do learn something new all the time. Even though I've been doing it 25 years, it's still constant learning. Sometimes you learn things you don't even realize you're learning them. The day I got my certificate and I could put those 4 little letters behind my name, if I'd known it was going to feel that good prior, I would have done it sooner. oh, we protect their assets, we protect their livelihood, we protect their future. If something happens, we want to make sure they have enough liability so that they're not in a bad place. The insurance industry is a very stable industry, and there's always room for growth depending on what you want to do with it. Well, it's protection. It's protecting your clients. It's protection. Of course I changed from when I started as a broker. It's been 25 years. But I got to know myself better. I've learned what I like about my job, and I found that I really like dealing with people and helping people. Okay, it's more than just job, it's a career. It's a professional atmosphere, it's a professional environment. You're gonna grow with it. Okay, well, I personally don't like the word challenges. I like them as opportunities. What some people view as a challenge, I look as an opportunity to learn something new, to help something, to surpass something that people think can't be surpassed. Opportunity is important. Opportunity is important because it means you're growing, you're learning, you are, as much as I don't like the word challenge, challenging yourself to get better.
Whenever I do something, I like to be in full force doing it. I just love to be independent and look after it. I don't do part-time stuff. I tell you the truth, I was talked into by my friend, who I knew, he was my neighbor also. By trade at that time, I was a steam engineer, manual steam engineer. And I was paid to, to get out of that because I was highly paid, and they said, we'll pay you out. So I came out, I was just wasn't doing anything, and one of my friends talked me into it. And it seems to me, I felt good about it, and went into it full force. I love dealing with public. This is one thing, and people knew me in the industry in Lower Mainland because I was working different jobs with the company that I worked for as an engineer. And it took me into that I'm now, once I changed my track into insurance, I felt happy about it. And I wanted to upgrade myself, going into a brokerage and fully manage it myself. It's a good question. When I got into it, it wasn't that much interesting. When I was in a partnership, and I was given the full authority to look after the whole office. And once the customer believes you, they're with you, I didn't want to just walk out of it because they trusted me, that I was looking after them. And I felt that, this is not only the business, people need to know what exactly the insurance is all about. Protecting their, we are protecting their assets, not just the insurance. And when they come to me and spend time with them, explaining them, and people just keep coming and giving me more business. It's a relationship with the customer. It's not all just the money part of it. It was a relationship with the public too.
Businesses.
Exactly, yeah, that's true. That's what is more interested me, because more you go in, see, right now, I just came from India, I landed here. I had made a commitment that I'm gonna go, and I just came right from the airport here after 24 hours in a flying. It interests me that I want to stay in touch and see what's going on when we get together. This is like more of a fair, different people, different company have a different underwriters and stuff like that. It interests me. I enjoy. Yeah, it's people that, it's a challenge for the people that, some of the, most of my culture people, they know they need the insurance, but they don't understand. Because I can speak 2 or 3 different languages, I can explain them. They trust me. I do by the rules. And I enjoy because when they're happy with my service, I hardly advertise anything. I never much advertise in papers or television. It's just once they come to me and they know what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm trusted in the field of insurance. They know it. The public knows. The customer knows. They know that they can trust me, and that's what my business card says the same thing. Trusted agent in the insurance industry, and I've proven it. Yeah, there's always a new thing happen. Once one customer comes to you for one thing, let's say it's the auto insurance, but whenever they get something else coming, and I learn also by that, and because I get in touch with the companies and find out what's going on, is something new that I have got it for the customer. It is day by day. Always new challenges and new. Can you repeat?
Challenges
New challenges
and new opportunities.
and new opportunities.
Just think about it in your own way. Now
Okay.
say that.
It's always a new challenges, every day coming, and it's a new opportunity to learn and explain the customer and at the time, every day.
Well done.
I started in 2001, and when I go to the insurance office, my own office, to do the work. Now I had to leave my other career behind, so you cannot be on both sides. And and then I said, okay, well, let's go into it. It's more interesting, more learning, better education part of it, and more dealing with the public. It made me to move this way, and then I decided to start my own brokerage independently.
Because there's always going to be a need for brokers, eh?
Yes, there's always. Insurance is a necessity, it's a need in today's life. But if you know what you're doing, and that's how you can convince the public and the customers and friends, of course, that you know what you're doing. So that helps me when I see people leaving with happy faces from my office.
I have a bit of history in my family. Both my father and my mother were in the insurance industry, but back in Kenya. So I got to know a lot about what insurance entails. My father was more in the construction industry, so more commercial. My mother was in personal lines, a lot of auto. But they were in the insurance companies, not as brokers. But typically my life has been involved with a lot of service, either in the hospitality industry, which I really enjoy, or the mining industry as well. And I just like to break down what seems to be complex into something that's more understandable to people who really don't get it. So I first worked at a company called All West Insurance, which I really did enjoy, personal lines. And then I got to meet John, who does commercial lines, construction industry. And I liked what it entailed, just bigger clients, servicing one client on multiple fronts, rather than one client once a year. And that's why I ended up at Network. There are a lot of cool factors, for sure, but I really like connecting with my clients and just being able to be the go-to guy as far as questions to do with bonding in particular, which I'm quite fond of, and insurance. So they have a question and they think, okay, Gilbert is a guy and Gilbert will get us the answers. And just seeing them quite satisfied at the end of the day and feeling, well, as long as Gilbert's got our back, we can go ahead with our business. Oh yes, every day is a learning experience. You learn a lot more from the challenging experiences, for sure. But it prepares you. I try not to get quite flustered with anything, but at the same time, every individual is different, every business is different, so I can't quite say I apply a template. However, the experience from one client will help me know how to better manage another client. I do have multiple mentors.
And is that mentoring important?
Oh yes, the mentoring is important. But the mentoring is not necessarily as far as my work goes. I find people's skills is very important. So for me, my mentors are not necessarily in the insurance industry. Ironically, some of my mentors are younger than I am, and they're students who are in university. But you just pick up a few tits and bits there on how to relate with people better and just be more considerate on a wholesome side of things. Well, first you have to look at yourself and think, are you interested in helping people? Does it give you some sort of satisfaction when you assist someone and you see them content and you see that they feel secure in what they do? If you do get contentment with that and you're happy at the end of the day, then at least that's, for me, a key checkbox. After that, it's just a matter of the technical skills. Like any other career, you have to write exams, you have to keep up with your professional development hours and the likes. But for me, really, it's, do you get a kick when someone feels you've sorted them out and you've had their back covered, really? Then after that, you're in, really. Growth potential, yes, because the market is huge. There's always new products coming in at the same time. But it depends with every individual, really, as far as you think on growth. For me, growth really is, do I leave not per se a legacy? I'm still young to use the word legacy, but do I leave an impression in the clients that I service such that they say, this is the person we go to? And in case I have another friend, I thought John had said that I would make it. It's just quite busy. One of our colleagues has kidney stones and she had to have an operation, and so all of us hands on deck in the office. And it's just, for a Friday, it feels like 2 Mondays in one. Oh, yes. When I think of growth for myself, really is when I do a very good job, say for Alan, who's my client, and when he goes out there, he says, you should not go to any other broker. Gilbert is your man, because he'll service you. So at the end of the day, it's just how much can you take on based on the good work you're doing and the referrals you're getting. So what makes me good at my job is what would make a broker good at their job would be being responsive. That's one. And when I say responsive is when a client reaches out to you, knowing right away what they want if you don't have the answer, acknowledging that you've received some form of communication and responding and giving them a timeline on when to get back. Being able to make decisions and make decisions on the fly, in the sense of sometimes you have to give a client an answer they might not necessarily want, but it's not always the wrong answer, but also giving them an alternative as well. And always being open to new frontiers. So that means really, if there's a new product in the market, be a sponge and willing to absorb as much information about it, such that when a client comes and says this, you already know about that product, so you can be able to easily tell them, this problem can be sorted out with this new product I learned about a week ago. So there are a few elements when I look back on my experience so far. And one is, as I mentioned earlier, being able to service a client to the point where the client feels, thank you, I'm satisfied. But that's not enough, really. How you know the client is quite satisfied is when Mr. X comes and tells you, Mr. Allen referred me to you because he was very impressed by that. That, for me, is the sign of approval. That's just a seal saying your job you did is good enough that you don't really have to market anymore. I'm keen about just being organized. So that really is having everything pretty much in order as far as your office goes and as far as your client files goes as well. What elements I'll be taking forward in the future? In particular, just given the nature of how the world is changing quite fast, as far as technology is concerned, it just requires us to be a lot more on the forefront, learning of new products, learning of how we can service our clients better, because traditional ways of providing a solution are not quite applicable anymore. You just have to know with, say, if you're doing construction and everything is now going online, if a client is accustomed to working with paper, how can I hold the hand of this client and try and show them the benefits of using technology? And at least if it takes 3 or 4 months of onboarding the client, let them see that this is the new way and this is a product that will help you in future. Oh yes, as much as you'd like it to be lucrative, I think you have to chart your own path, really, because you're given the tools of what to apply and how to service your clients best. Then at the end of the day, it's if you have the clients that you work with, service them well, and not necessarily ignore them, but maintain them well. And then go forward and see, can I attract more clients from the great job I do with my current clients and any new products that I have. It's really limited by how much time and resources you have. It's not really limited by the market. It's unlimited as far as I'm concerned. I have a background in mathematics, and also my background as well is an accountant as well. So we do have this thing we call a double underline, which is the bottom line. So for me, once at the end of the day, I've been able to service the client, everything is out to the client. They have what they require, it's invoiced, it's whether it's paid or not, or we have an agreement of some sort, and I put my double underline after that, that puts a smile on my face. I find, typically from my experience, from my career so far, I tend to focus a lot on the benefit and the service. And I find the reward comes by itself. So you do earn as you learn, but my priority tends to be a lot more on the job that I do and just the great service that I do. And I find when I look at remuneration or my bank account, I'm pleased by what I see. True, you do meet quite a lot of great people in your work and in the industry in particular, and clients as well. I have one mantra in particular, and for me it's, if I meet someone, sometimes I take it, what if I don't meet this person another day? What was my impression on this person? And are they going to be interested in engaging with me, whether in a professional manner, work-wise, or in a personal front, whether it's a sporting activity or just a drink. So at the end of the day, I tend to be at my very best as much as I can in every occurrence of meeting different people. And so that whatever they say or whatever they think in future, then they can always think, well, that's a broker we'd be interested in working with. That's a broker I'd be interested in calling, and even if not working with, hearing what their opinion is. That's really what I would say about that. Well, in our industry, there can be quite a few challenges. And the challenges really stem from the fact that a client may want something that's not available, or what they bring to the table is not sufficient. True, but that's not quite like me, because it's so like, I think it's very general. I tend to speak sometimes, I think, in a few specifics. True, the challenges are there, but the challenges is what really makes you grow. And I find, say, for instance, with clients that have situations where we find we cannot get a solution, we always find a solution. There's no way that a client will say, we need this, and we are not able to get the solution. Whether it will take 3 days or 4 days, it will take 3 or 4 days. And within 2 or 3 days, you'll be quite stressed. But at the end of it, I'll put my double underline, and I'll be very happy that we managed to service the client well. But at the end of the day, I know in future, when this comes, these are the telltale signs I'm looking for. And if I notice them, I have to get ahead of it.
Actually, I feel like it is not spoken about enough, so I actually had no idea anything about insurance. So I felt like maybe it was just going to be a stepping stone. I didn't. Well, I like to help customers. Like I like the interacting with clients and helping them. I think the people. I like who I work with. I like who I work for. So yeah, it is wonderful. Yeah, it's a wonderful culture. The culture of our office is very family oriented. It's very high energy. It's happy. It's calming. It's a good culture. It's a good environment.
Why do you like that?
I like high energy. I like I like happy. There is a lot of change in insurance, especially right now. But I think it's going to be for the better. Things are going to get better. I think there is a lot of young people coming up into the insurance industry, and they should be. I wish that they actually spoke about it more at the post-secondary and secondary levels, actually, because it is kind of the hidden gem of careers. It's not spoken about very much. I think it's a gem because it's you're helping people. You're helping people understand something that isn't sort of what they normally understand or know about, and educating them, that's important. I have learned a lot. I've learned a lot in moving into Westland. We.
Let's start again.
Oh, sorry. I know you don't want me to talk about that.
No names.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay.
We're constantly learning because everything's constantly changing, and in our industry, you have to keep learning. We have to keep learning the relevant information and keep learning to stay on top of things as it's changing.
And why is that important to you?
It's important because I like to grow. I like to change. Change doesn't scare me. I like to. It's a good career.
Let's try
I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. That is a tough. There's a lot of advancement and a lot of room for growth in insurance. So you can start kind of at the bottom and work your way all the way up. So I think that there is lots of room for advancement and growth if that's what you're after. It can be a lifetime career, and I think the turnover shows that. There's not a lot of turnover in insurance. You stay at one place and you grow there, and there's lots of opportunity. I think that insurance, like I said, insurance. Well,
That's okay. Take time.
being a broker isn't spoken about very often as a career choice or a career path, but it is a wonderful path. To become a broker in insurance, it's you get to be with clients, and like I said, there's lots of room for advancement and lots of opportunity once you get in and become a broker. I have learned and grown as a broker. I started right at the bottom, obviously, right from my last job into as a junior broker, and have moved up the ranks quite quickly. So once you become a broker, you can get all different levels of education and growth that way. Once you move up into different levels of your license, and so there's lots of room for growth that way, and growth, lots of opportunity comes from once you get those levels of license under your belt or your designation. I think as a broker, you are up against. You're actually up against defending. I don't know if I'm.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. As a broker, you are up against defending an industry, actually, and there's lots of, as long as you know what you're talking about and are able to deliver that to a client, you can put their mind at ease, and you can remind them of the importance of insurance, and as a broker, that's our job. We're supposed to explain all of the different parts of insurance and why you need insurance. And,
I'm trying to get
Okay.
into what the personal skills
Okay.
would be.
Okay, so as a broker, we ask a lot of questions about each client that comes in to see us, and that way we can define what they need and the needs of their insurance, right? So I feel like you get to know people really well, and you get to have that interaction with clients and meet their needs that way. I feel wonderful when I go home. I feel like it's interacting with those clients is a positive. You can turn it around, and they're happy to see you. So I think it is very cool to be a broker. I do very much love my job. I feel like every day you do come in, and it's a culture that as a broker you get to have family at work, and you get those relationships with those clients, and they keep coming back because of that, the culture, and because of the environment, and because you're educating them on what they need or learning about what they need.
Sense of community.
Yeah, it is a sense of community.
What is it?
Being a broker, it's like a sense of community. You get these long-term relationships with people, your colleagues, your clients. You do get to deal with them year after year, or for all their different insurance needs, and so it is very fulfilling.
Because I migrated from India back in 1987. I was a teacher there, So I want to fit in this system, Canadian system. I was thinking, first of all, I want to become a teacher, but then I decided, because that time I had no money, so then I decided to go with the brokers, because then I decided to get an exam for the fundamental. Then I start my career as a broker.
Can you remember those first days?
I remember that. I still remember when I registered out of province card, Alberta. I took 45 minutes to register that one. Then I phoned a couple times to BEU for assistance.
What were your initial thoughts about your job once you were at that point?
Actually, I love this job since the day one because I love paperwork. Yeah. Still, I'm really happy with my. It is actually a big industry. They have, if they want to set in this career, then they have more opportunity to grow. That's why.
So when I go ahead and I get, maybe we should, let's stop. Maybe we can get these guys.
Because I, first of all, actually I'm nervous now.
Okay.
I like this job.
Yeah. Why do you like this job?
Because I need to help people who has no knowledge about insurance. So I am helping them in auto, personal line, and commercial policies in detail.
Does this job provide lots of changes? Interest?
Yes, every day.
What? Can you use the word changes? Like, is it change every day or?
Change, actually, industry change, personal line change, commercial line change. Every day we have to keep up to date. Yeah, it is, especially for young people. They can adjust anywhere. They can adjust in as a broker. They can get government job with ICBC. They can be adjuster. They can fit anywhere. This is a big industry. I have really good example. Actually, I'm very flexible because I'm a producer/employee. I can leave the office whenever I want to. I can come to the office whenever I can. It is flexible job. As a mother, I can actually, I have good opportunity for flexibility. I can get really good timing. Yeah. I can raise my kids really good if I have flexible schedule. Learning every day, even though I have 27 years experience, still I'm learning a lot every day. In ICBC thing, in personal line and in commercial.
Why does that make you happy?
Because first of all, I can raise my kids, I have flexibility, and I can help people in my community. Actually, in commercial and personal line and ICBC, I can give them more detail. Yeah. Especially when they have English problem. Yeah. Because in my office, lots of people, they are Indian people. They, first of all, in my community, I use it because they need assistance. Because first of all, they come and ask if there are any Punjabi people working, so they can help them. So that's why I'm using community.
I didn't really know what I was going to actually be doing. I didn't know what it actually meant to be an insurance broker until I started going through the steps, getting to learn what actually insurance was. Then as soon as I got into it, then I figured out selling ICBC auto plan or home insurance is not just ABC 1, 2, 3. You got to figure out everything that the client's doing, what they're doing, how they're doing it. And then once you figure that out, you got to tailor something to them. So if something happens tomorrow, you got to make sure that they're protected. So what we try to do is we control risk, I guess, and we try to find a protection plan best for the insured.
What part of this job do you like the best? Try not to rock too much, though.
I don't tend to say sorry. The best thing I like about this job is never the same. It's always changing. Not only the industry, but the insureds themselves. one day you might get somebody and you might think, it's the same house, it's the same type of house, same type of car, but then you'll run into somebody who's running a boarding house. And now you got to switch it up, change the type of insurance that they're doing. It's not going to be easy. And the challenge itself, finding the challenge in doing some of these policies is what I enjoy. Well, the biggest thing is people just assume that you're going to be going into it and it's just a desk job. This is actually a sales job, desk job, along with risk management and running into different type of people. Today you might run into a client who just wants auto insurance, but they don't know what they need. At the end of the day, the best thing is you get to help people. It actually opened up my eyes to what everything was. Just understanding insurance more, it gives you the depth and knowledge that you need to move forward. And it also gives you humility at the same time to understand that you won't be able to know everything. And that sometimes being a jack of all trades is not the best idea. I mean, you should just focus on one thing. But depending on the brokers that you work at, I think it all varies on what position you're going to be in, right?
Is there a lot of opportunities for advancement?
Of course, at the end of the day, you have to remember that just because you're doing ICBC Autoplan doesn't mean you can't move in Autoplan. You can move up to maybe you'll work just on fleets. Maybe you'll work just on prorate or garage policies. Or you can move into batching, or you can even become the Autoplan manager. A lot of people don't understand is just because you're starting off in one spot doesn't mean you can't go into another position in the office. You can go add on and start doing personal lines, commercial lines. The opportunities are pretty much limitless with insurance. Yep. The biggest thing is we are moving towards the online generation where everybody wants everything instantly, or they want it right now, or they think they know the best. At the end of the day, everybody thinks they know the best, but even engineers know. They think they're the best. They never need insurance. But at the end of the day, we have engineers and professionals who have claims every day. Insurance is one of those things that you need somebody to come in and who knows what they're doing, be able to read the coverages. Just because people assume it's a 400-page policy, that's all you got to do is read the policy. But understanding it, you can't just understand it by reading it online. You have to know what you're doing. And I think because of that, the knowledge that you need will make insurance brokers an essential part of the world. But you got to be outgoing. I think the main thing for a broker is you have to be outgoing. You got to be a people person. If you can't, every day you got to meet new people. And if you don't like meeting new people, it's going to be a little bit tough. But again, just because that's the sales side. I like the sales side, but that doesn't mean that there's no underwriting side. There's people who just go in, look at paperwork, run the numbers, and push it out. So the characteristics, I think the main thing should be is attention to detail. I love it. That's why I love doing insurance. There's days that we open up at 9. I don't mind being there at 7:30, just because there's stuff to do, and I actually like what I do. Punching it in. And the other side for me is every time you get a new client is like a win. You pretty much beat somebody else to get this piece of business. It's almost like a sport. Well, people gotta understand that just because we sell insurance doesn't mean it's a full-time job for some people. At the end of the day, you can work part-time. You can just produce. You can be consulting just a few clients. You can work part-time. You can work evenings, and you can work weekends. It's just as long as you're willing to work. There's always a position in this field for people to come into. So the flexibility of jobs. You have to remember that in insurance, there's not just one position. There's not just one industry, and there's not just one type of business that you can do. There's people who do ICBC Autoplan, or just car insurance in general in BC, personal lines only, or commercial lines as well. And then there's people who just work weekends, there's people who work from home, and there's some people that just do data entry. There's reception jobs, there's loss, again, you can move into adjusting, do weekend adjusting, you can work in restoration. The possibilities are endless. So as a broker, the flexibility is you can move between jobs in an office. You can go from just doing car insurance, you can go into just doing home insurance, you can do just commercial insurance, and you can jump back and forth between them as long as you're comfortable doing it. You can also work just weekends, you can work just weekdays, you can work just evenings. There's people at different offices who only work 4 hours a week. And at the end of the day, if you're raising a family or you have a family, it's going to be easier for you to go in and out and still stay within the industry.
Actually, my dad's friend worked in the industry and owns a brokerage. So he asked me if I might want to become a broker. And I took my first fundamentals course and passed, so I was able to get a job with him. I mean, I would get good hours, and there's a lot of potential for my job. I could possibly go into commercial lines, I could go into personal lines, I can do auto insurance, you know, a couple different avenues to take. I don't have just one career path, I have multiple. I did. I had to learn so much. I didn't know anything about insurance when I first started. I learned a lot in my first fundamentals of insurance course. That was a real struggle for me. I actually took the test twice. So the first time I failed by just 1%, but the second time I passed, and I had to learn everything. I didn't know anything about insurance other than just my car insurance. Well, you have to be learning and adapting all the time.
Okay, well, that's really good.
Yeah.
But I wanted something personal after that. Like,
Okay.
You have to be learning. That's what I really like. That's
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
looking for. So,
Okay.
So what do you have to?
Sorry.
Just like you did, you have to be learning.
You have to learn and adapt all the time. I had to learn, sorry.
No, I just want you to express if you liked it or not.
Yeah.
Like you said so enthusiastically that I love, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have to learn what?
I have to learn and adapt all the time. I really do like learning.
No,
I don't know what else to say. Okay. Okay.
Let's try that again.
Okay.
So, did you have to learn a lot?
I do have to learn a lot. I'm always learning and adapting. I do like to learn.
And that's a great part of the job, isn't it?
It is a great part of the job.
Good, I put that in there. What do you process?
Absolutely. I have senior brokers who have been with our office for a long time. They've really helped me and guided me. When I first started insurance, of course, you're walking into a brokerage. You don't know a lot about the business. You don't know a lot about the companies. You do need people who are helping you and guiding you. And everyone at my brokerage has been so supportive and so helpful. It's really been nice. In our small brokerage, we have a very close-knit kind of group. We throw birthday parties for each other. We support each other in different life speed bumps. We're there for each other. I like a challenge. So if someone comes up with a hard-to-place risk, I don't back away from it. I will accept the challenge, do my best for that client to try to find them a market that will accommodate them. I help them get the right coverage for what their risk is. I help them with claims. I'm usually the first line. If someone has an issue, they call our office first, usually before calling a company, and I'm there to guide them, give them the right phone number to call. If they need a restoration company, give them a suggestion. I'm there at the forefront of claims and things like that. Personally, again, as I was saying before, I have lots of different avenues that I can choose. So I'm currently in personal lines. I can stay in personal lines. I could branch out to commercial lines if I wanted to. You're not pigeonholed into one thing. There are lots of different avenues for you to take. I mean, I really like meeting new people every day. That's pretty cool to me. I don't know.
Good answer.
Okay.
How about flexibility? What is that?
I mean, I do have a regular hours. I usually don't work weekends, but I do work 8 hours during the week, Monday to Friday. Possibly, yeah. It depends, again, what avenue you take. If you do stay in an office, then yes, there's not really as much flexibility. But if you do become a producer, then there could be a potential there where you can work from home. Honestly, it's the people for me. I really like dealing with new clients. You're not going to face the same situation every single day. You're not going to be living the same thing over and over and over again. It's something different all the time. Take the challenge and go with it.
Perfect. I don't need any more.
All right.
Joyce Poon from Johnston Meyer Insurance Agency.
Excellent. How long have you been a broker?
Since 1990.
Wow. How did you become a broker?
Interesting. My family immigrated from Hong Kong in the 1990, and I was looking for a job, and there was an agency that interested me. They were looking for, actually at the time was an office administrator. So I started there just looking after like office admin, and then the owner, they encouraged me to go for a license. So I was licensed since 1990, and starting with doing auto plan, and then moving up to do personal lines, and starting as a actually as customer service representative, and then moving up to manager. I love it. The interesting part is, in fact, a few of my best friends, actually are my clients, and some of my best friends, they actually are those that I got to know from my workplace. Actually, I work for a few agencies. I won't say that it's a small community. In insurance industry is a big industry in Vancouver, I would suppose in Canada as well. Say in BC, you have to have insurance in order to drive. And most of the home, if they have a mortgage, they need an insurance. So it's probably, I would say, quite a basic need for every family. Advantages is, I would say, networking. You may have the chance to know people from every industry. People from anywhere over the world as well. If they're coming in as a visitor, they need medical insurance, and they're going abroad and they're looking for maybe traveling insurance, stuff like that. Yes, as I say, the best part of this industry is myself. I get to have the chance to meet up with pretty much a lot of different kind of clients, like high net worth, very rich people, to maybe a bus driver. Okay, so they come from a different part of the world as well. Some from China, from Europe, from America. So we kind of like sharing many things in life. I think that's the best part of it. Flexibility, I think it really depends. If you work in the office, you probably have an office hour, but flexibility, it could mean if you are like a road agent, you work on your own time, and you may be making like getting different type of remuneration instead of just a payroll. You get more. If you work harder, you get more like a commission. That is, I think more people say flexible is. You can choose to work, time on your own. If you have a big book of business, you don't want to stick in a 9-to-5 job. So I think this is flexibility people may talk about.
Is it a boring job?
No, I've been I would say getting more and more challenging and exciting, especially in the last, I would say in the last 10 years. The industry is keep evolving and changing. It's not boring at all. Not a day I think of. There's no routine job and no routine. Of course, I think every kind of work there's we call as not a very pleasant, or maybe you call it boring, but it's I suppose every job you will have a part of it. How I learn and progress is there are many times, many opportunities that we have to take many courses and trainings to keep up ourselves, to keep up our knowledge, our skills. So it's no way, no person I would say, if they stay in the industry for like a couple of years or even the period like my duration, like mine, will not progress. They definitely, if they stay in the industry, they'll be moving up. Yes, the industry is not insurance industry is so, I would say, so broad that you can have a position in any part of the industry, like a claim adjuster. You can be a underwriter. You can be a salesperson. You can be an office personnel, or even an owner of an agency. Well, I create a relationship and a bridge between the customers, the clients, and the insurance company. And then I'm representing the insurance company and the client. So I kind of help a media for both of these two parties. So of course my position is very important.
And you like it?
Oh, for sure, yes. I will stay in the industry until I retire, and hopefully I don't have to retire unless I have to.
Excellent. Who are you?
I am Steve Pierce with Sea First Insurance over in Victoria, British Columbia. Just over 5 years ago, I got into the business because of a family member who became sick, and I was asked to come in and help. So I investigated the whole career opportunity and took the schooling, and then here we are today. I kind of knew. I do own a couple of different businesses, quite large manufacturing company and another retailing company. So I was very familiar with insurance from that point. But the structure behind it all was kind of neat and interesting to see it from the other side. Yeah, it was probably after my first year and dealing with clients that were kind and wanted to do well in their business. I mostly work with commercial clients, and being involved in and earning that trust, they become friends almost. So it was very inspiring to see these people that trust you with their risk analysis of their lives and being able to, adjust what their risk level was and save money, or maybe it was to save their assets. So it was very neat.
What's cool about being an insurance agent?
Being able to learn new things about people and what drives them and what is happening in the marketplace, especially in today's day and age with the realty world and rentals, and understanding what the landscape of business is. The big part was really trying to see how people were really truly trying to help the community, and being involved in that level is just definitely, I get to choose the people that you want to work with. It's not a high pressure job. You get to do things and talk to people that are like-minded with you. I do not, because I'm just coming to my 5th year now, so okay. I will be getting my CABE 4.
So what do you think over that?
Definitely, especially when it comes to the turnover seems to be a lot faster now of staff, and people having a difficult time of settling into a role. They want to move too quickly. I don't know if that's economically driven or if it's interest driven. Huge opportunities, but it still takes time to learn and to learn the ropes and learn the correct way. It's helping people in educating them. It's helping people in helping them write their story and understand what it is that they want to accomplish by having insurance in place. They walk away feeling that they purchased something with purpose. It wasn't just because they had to purchase it because the bank or the financial institution they chose told them they had to. They're choosing it because they've learned and they feel comfortable with what they've learned. The satisfaction would be the integrity and trust in what you gain from those relationships with those people. It gives me a feeling of relief that what I'm doing has purpose. Huge growth potential, especially with the customer service end of it. There's so many people that want to speak face to face, that doing things on the web, internet, through email is one thing, but there's so many people that still want to do this face to face talk and sit down with somebody, and we're in need of many people to help us do so. Yes, that's part of what I see is
Use the word learning.
learning. Okay, so taking the time to learn the actual correct procedures and the processes and the rules of engagement in insurance are so important, and to try and skip over those without learning those major important steps is something that we're seeing as a gap right now, because it takes time to do that. Oh, I see what you mean. Sorry. So what do I learn? Oh my goodness. The being with commercial clients and the things that I learn about what they do right, I can pass on to other clients and my other peers as well, so that we actually pass on that learning from each other's experiences to be better at our job and be able to help those businesses run their businesses better too. Different every day. We can make it boring every day if we want to, but we don't. We make it interesting because every client is different every day.
It was actually an accident that I fell into insurance, and once I started working and realizing how I can help people understand insurance, because I feel like it's something that people don't. I love helping people. I love helping clients understand and making sure that they are getting what they need. I had no idea. I was brand new. I was eager to learn, but I had no idea what it was going to be like. I had never had any experience in insurance before. Yes, I knew as I was learning and listening to the other brokers that this was something that definitely I was interested in, and the amount of learning that does happen in insurance, I enjoyed the aspect of learning and understanding myself so I could pass that on to my clients. I learn something new every day. I find that from 3 years ago, I'm so much more knowledgeable, and my character, so in terms of my character, how has it changed? It has allowed me to understand people and what their needs are and how they don't understand, and how important it is to explain to them and have them understand that insurance isn't just a piece of paper. It's actually something very important.
As a broker, why is that important?
Because I feel like my clients are my friends. I take care of them as I would my own family. And it's important to me to get off that phone call or have them walk out that door going, okay, they understand. We work as a team. I think it's very important because we learn from each other. There's always someone that has a little bit more knowledge than you or needs your input with the knowledge that you can give them. So working as a team is great. I love working with a team. Support. I think everybody needs support. I think even though you might, just knowing that you have that support and the knowledge of the people that have been doing it for many years, and the ones that haven't been doing it for so long, and that they need your help, but you also have the support of the people that have the knowledge that you need. I think it's great to always ask questions if you're unsure, and having the support of just knowing that those people are there for you and you're there for them. I think it's very important. My job is never boring. You meet all kinds of people. It's never the same. Everybody's different. You deal with different people every day, so no one phone call is the same, or no one person walking into the office door is the same. There's always something different, and people like to share, and you get to know them, and I think it's very important to listen to what they're saying and what their needs are without them even knowing. When they walk through that door, they have no idea. My job is never boring. My job is never boring. That's the truth. Okay, well,
that's okay. Is your job boring?
My job is never boring.
Perfect. So I wanted, sorry, I was just jumping all over you there.
Yeah, you were. Just saying.
Well, I'm having trouble talking.
I'm supposed to answer now? Yeah. Sorry, okay, I wasn't I was ready, action. But why is that something you should do? Yeah. If you truly care for people and truly want to help people understand and have the patience to listen, then this is the job for you. If you want to meet all different kinds of people that are out there and enjoy helping them. It's enjoying helping people understand. There are opportunities every day to learn and to grow and to move forward. You start with your level 1, you get your level 2, you can end up with your CABE. There's so many opportunities. You can do personal lines, you can do commercial. So yes, there are plenty of opportunities to grow.
What's the coolest part of your job?
The coolest part of my job for me is the satisfaction I get when I have sold someone a policy, not because I sold it, but because they actually understand how important it is to me that they understand what they're getting and that they will be safe, that they have what they need. Helping people understand that insurance is very important, even though it's a piece of paper. But it is very important to me that someone does understand what they are purchasing, everything about it. Having the client say, thank you so much, now I do understand. That is what is important to me, is educating them on what they are buying. There's so many different aspects to insurance. There's nothing.
Let's stop for a second. You say there's so many aspects to being a broker.
So many aspects to being a broker.
So is it black and white?
No, it's never black and white. There's so many different aspects of being a broker. There's so many. It's all about the questions that you put out there and the answers that you're receiving and knowing what this specific person needs. It's never black and white. No one person is the same.
So interesting story, I was actually a lawyer and I had a client that ran an insurance brokerage and I thought to myself, holy smokes, this has to be the best business in the world. I have to get in on this. And that's how I got into insurance.
What attracted you?
Honestly, if you ask me from my perspective, the broker business, there's no business like it. It's a business that is exciting. Every day is a new day. It's a product that every single person has to have. So from a business standpoint, it's recession proof. Doesn't matter what the economy's doing. You can stop cutting your hair. You can stop going out for drinks, but you're not going to stop those premium payments. So the insurance premiums keep getting paid. It's absolutely recession proof. Your staff are all licensed brokers. They're professionals. They have to go through continuing education requirements. Because they're licensed, they're not going to steal from you, and it's really hard to steal in this business anyways. So when you add up all of the elements, you really come to recognize that this is just a fantastic business. You know, one of the best things about being a broker is you get to impact people's lives every single day. Every single time a person walks out of a broker's office with a policy of insurance, you've made a difference in their life. If you can convince a person to buy earthquake coverage or to buy excess underinsured motorist protection, tomorrow that person has an incident in their life and you are the one that convinced them to spend the extra $20 or $30 to buy that additional coverage, you made a massive difference in that person's life. The best thing about being a broker is you get to do different things every single day. No 2 days are the same. There's opportunities to do all sorts of different things within this industry and you're never bored. there's a ton of opportunity in this business, in this industry. As a broker, no 2 days are the same. You're dealing with different risks, different scenarios every single day. And even outside of being a broker within this industry, there's so many things you can do in insurance. Everything from being a data scientist and trying to figure out how data correlates, to being on the sales side, to being an adjuster, to working with body shops, to working with construction. There's so many different facets in this industry, and most people don't recognize that. They think insurance is boring. It's quite the opposite. Insurance is sexy. I think one of the best parts about coming into the industry is really the opportunity to meet with people and engage with people on a daily basis. You get to sit and talk to people, really learn about their business or learn about what's happening in their family, to be able to provide them with the advice that's necessary for them to have the appropriate coverage. You know, I've had some phenomenal mentors in my life, and I've had the opportunity to learn from some great mentors in this industry, and it's something that a responsibility that I take very seriously as well, with respect to being able to provide guidance and mentorship to others. Insurance is a career. When you start as a broker, you're starting a career, an unbelievable career that has tons of opportunity, plenty of opportunity. Being a broker has been absolutely rewarding for me in my life. I've had the opportunity to grow as an individual, to grow professionally, to build and hone my own skills and my own expertise, and I can honestly say that I am the person I am today because of the experiences I've had as a broker.
In industry?
Yeah, as a broker.
Yeah.
There's tremendous opportunity for growth as an insurance broker. People consistently start again. There's lots of opportunity in this industry as a broker. People continue to want advice from people, and I don't think that's something that's ever going to go away.
Well, why did you?
It was an opportunity through my girlfriend, whose aunt managed one of the brokerages I first started at. And when I came in, I ended up just loving the job, helping my clients. I saw them day to day, and they ended up appreciating everything I was doing for them. Some of it was hard, trying to just find solutions for their problems, and we ended up bonding over the resolutions that we were able to come to. Yes, I was scared to go to the counter for ICBC, but once I got up there, and after a few months, I ended up gaining more confidence as I went on, and knowing and wanting to learn more, and wanting to branch out and learn different products. And then from there, I wanted to know my homeowners, and then go into commercial.
Was there any specific moment or event that happened that kind of said, I like this, I'm going to do this for a while?
It was with one of my clients.
Try not to rock too much.
Sorry.
I think I'm going to do this for a while.
There was with one of my clients, when it was with ICBC, when they came in and just wanted to go directly to me and only want to see me and only want me to help them with their. It made me feel like I was needed and I was helpful.
What was that?
It was with one of my ICBC clients. I was doing their fleets, and they just wanted to specifically go to me, and I gained their trust, and they trusted my wisdom. And if I didn't know, I told them I would find out for them, and I did my best I could for them, and they appreciated that, and it made me feel like this is something I want to do, because just your relationship with your clients end up growing from there, and you feel accomplished when you leave your job that day.
Your job involved?
Yeah, I want to move forward with my career. I'm doing that right now, from going from auto to personal lines, and I'm wanting to go more commercial. I want to know it all in the industry. I want to know different aspects and all types of insurance.
So you learn, and this provides it.
Yeah, this definitely with insurance you'll always learn. There's not one day goes by where you won't learn one thing, at least one thing a day. You always will learn.
But what about you? You have a desire to learn.
I do. I want to learn, and that's what makes me love my job, is I get to learn every day.
Oh God, let's try that again. Say that again.
I want to learn, so this job provides me learning.
Don't try to slow down. Try it again.
This job provides me to learn, and every day I get to learn something new.
I think you started off with I want to learn.
Yes, I want to learn, and this job provides that for me. me learning one thing, at least one new thing a day.
Okay, just like that.
I want to learn, and I get to learn something new every day.
I'm not so thrown away. Like, oh, what do you learn? What?
I want to learn, and I get to learn something new every day.
So you want to what?
I want to learn, and I get to learn something new every day.
Put the word "you know" in front of it, and then take the box. Go, you know.
99.9% is helping people.
That's nice.
Yeah, you build relationships with your clients because they have to trust you with their livelihood, their businesses, their cars. And if you don't gain that trust, it can be difficult to be able to have that to help the client. You have to learn what their needs are and and how they work. They do, yeah. We have to work with each other, and we have to work with our underwriters as well as much as with our clients.
And it's good. I mean, is that part of the job you like?
Yeah, I do, because I get different aspects. Not only do I have to learn to work with my clients, I have to learn to talk to my underwriters and negotiate some of the clauses with the. No, I have to learn.
How about this? What's the coolest part of your job?
The coolest part of my job is working with my client. I feel like what I've done is learned that there's always a solution to a problem, and I've realized that, and that no problem is too big for me, and I can when there's a will, there's a way.
If I were somebody with you and say, well, I'm kind of thinking about looking for a career, why would I want your career?
If you're interested in helping clients and learning something new every day and things always changing, you'll never be bored of insurance.
Perfect. Well done. You were perfect. Do you remember when you started to be a broker? Do you know why you did that?
So do you know BCIT?
Yeah.
There's a program there, Insurance and Risk Management. Honestly, I don't like school a lot, and my parents were forcing me to go to school. So I was like, okay, this seems pretty interesting, right? And then I tried out the program. It was pretty cool. I got my level 1 through BCIT, and then I left BCIT and became a broker.
Why did you do that?
I don't know. It seemed interesting. I have family members also that are brokers. So I liked their day-to-day life. It was pretty chill. It was really independent too. Like they had no fixed schedule, which I liked. So I don't really have a fixed schedule as well. It's more of the producer role. Which I feel like young people nowadays, they're either influencers on Instagram, or they hate that 9-to-5 job. They think it's not for them for whatever reason. So I think they'll just like the freedom you get with being a broker. If you're on the producer side, for sure. But if you work at a bigger company, then you're going to have that 9-to-5 role. But if you're in a smaller company, you'll have more freedom to bring in clients.
Flexibility, or what is it?
If you like to meet people, it's definitely for you, being a broker. If you don't like to meet people, maybe underwriting, because you're more over the phone, email, stuff like that. Insurance will always be there, I feel like, no matter what, because everyone needs insurance, right? Everything and everyone needs insurance, like the building we're in right now. And each one of us have insurance on our cars, our homes. So I feel like the industry will never really die. It will always be there. I totally agree with that. The industry will always be there. Like, for example, there's self-driving cars now, but they still need insurance, right? It'll get to a point, I guess, where every car on the road is self-driving, and there'll be like no accidents, but you'll still need insurance. Just meeting people, honestly. That's what I like. I feel like it's all word of mouth. That's the strongest form of marketing. So if you just you give a client good service, they'll recommend you to others. That's what I like. I like when I see that ball rolling, just people calling me, oh, this guy referred me. I like that. I like that aspect. And I'm always down to meet new people, right? So that's what I like.
Do you think, and you wanted to start?
I think one of my main reasons, my husband bought and sold some vehicles. I had ended up going into an insurance office and noticed that every time I went in, there was not enough staff, or they didn't know what they were doing. So I challenged them and I said, I can do your job. They threw a book at me and said, okay, here you go. So I challenged the exam and I passed, and 10 years later, I'm still doing it.
What is it about your job that you particularly like?
the interaction with the people for sure. Yeah, I like having to be able to simplify things for people. Lots of people come in, insurance isn't a very tangible thing, so people want to know that they're giving me premiums to get something back in return, for sure.
What's cool about your job?
Not a lot of my friends are in it. They're not within the business, so it's something that I feel I'm a sort of in an elite group of people, and I just enjoy it and enjoy the people. You gotta love customers, and you gotta love people, and you gotta love being able to help people and simplifying things for people. And if you love that, it's not about the sale. It's not about what what you're selling the client. It's peace of mind for them. You can go be anywhere from a road agent, that's somebody who goes around to the different dealerships, right up to a commercial lines producer, to managing your own office.
How have you grown?
I've grown steadily throughout the years. So I started out as an auto agent, and then just as the years went on, took different tests to get different levels. There's 4 levels with the IBABC, and I'm a level 2, so sort of gives me signing authority and gets me in the market of, personal lines, commercial lines, that sort of thing. So, yeah.
So what do you get out of it by learning and being involved?
The knowledge and peace of mind that I'm selling a product, giving people a product that they know is good for them. Not for me, but for them. Absolutely there is. Yeah, not every office is 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. Some offices are open later, some are off, or most often open on the weekends.
Let's stop for a second, because I think the flexibility I'm trying to get at is what you do.
Absolutely, there's tons of flexibility for that in getting the ultimate job that you need that fits your life, for sure. Yeah.
And flexibility in the hours.
And flexibility in the office and the hours. I've never had any issues with it. Adjectives. Giving you an example. It's fully on about trust, relationships. 3. It's fulfillment.
Say those words again.
Fulfillment, trust, and relationships.
Slowly, as if you just.
Sorry. So, fulfillment and trust and relationships is what I would say my 3 are.
Rewarding.
So becoming a broker would be satisfying, and it would be rewarding, and it would be I don't know, you put me on the spot here.
Challenging or.
It is challenging. Nothing's the same on a day-to-day basis. So you're constantly growing with your clients, you're growing with your business, you're growing with the industry. Not every day is, it's not like slinging coffee. It's challenging on the fact that you're using your mind for that, for sure. Communities, we get involved in a lot of the communities. We do lots of charity work. We do lots of fundraising. We do lots of working within the communities to, make them aware that, we are out there helping others.
That's what I'm trying to get.
Okay, so yeah, if you do care about the community and the people that are in it, it would be a great job to have.
Insurance broker.
It's a common story for insurance broker. Never intended to get into the industry. I started off as an insurance, as a lawyer. I did that for 5 years. Got into the insurance adjusting end for 3 or 4 years as an independent adjuster, and joined my family brokerage, G&K, as a commercial insurance broker. So sort of a circuit.
Don't move.
Yep, that's an interesting question. I'd always grown up in a family with a father who's an insurance broker. I would often hear about his day and hear the sort of varied nature of the business that he dealt with. When I got into insurance adjusting, I would come into contact with brokers and customers and clients, and just sort of developed an interest in insurance generally as an industry and learned a lot more about it.
What attracted you?
You know, I think it's the nature of the mixed nature of the business, the fact that every day was different tasks, never doing the same thing twice. Yeah, I mean, it was really, it's the breadth of the type of clients you deal with and the problems you're solving on a day-to-day basis.
What were the rewards that it provided you in this career?
There's financial rewards, you know, to the extent that it's a business that allows you to make as much money as you want if you're a commissioned sales broker. But I think the reward really was in finding and helping solve commercial business clients' problems, which is insurance was one part of the problem, and trying to resolve that problem and make things go smoothly for them. It's a rewarding part of the business. You know, I think flexibility. I think you have.
Start again. I jumped on your word.
I think that the sort of.
I think I love this word where you came out. I think flexibility. It was like really demand came right out.
Yeah, well, the first thing that pumps into my mind is I think flexibility. If you're an individual who keeps an open mind, I think that's the kind of person that we really need as insurance brokers. You got to be flexible and able to adjust. You know, I said earlier that the tasks aren't always the same. Every day is a little bit different, and really it's about having the ability to sort of go with the flow and be able to adjust your day. Yeah, I mean, being an insurance broker, ongoing learning is also something that was, you know, attractive to me. Is that you don't enter a job, take a course, and then you know everything you need to know about the job. It's an ongoing basis. You start off maybe with. You might start off in homeowners policies or auto policies. Then you move into small little retail businesses. Then you get involved in larger risks, course of constructions, more complicated businesses, and really all the way along the way you're picking up knowledge and taking courses to further your information, talking with other brokers to educate yourself, to become.
Your goals are, right?
Yeah, there are so many different types of roles, even, you know, within the commercial brokerage side of our business. There are people who are motivated to sell. They can get jobs in our line of business where it's just prospecting and selling. There's other people who absolutely hate selling. They hate closing. There are processing jobs where you push paperwork or negotiate with underwriters. There are various variety of types of jobs that call on different skills and tasks that an individual might be strong at. So that's a difficult question. You know, I think when I got into the industry, something that I did learn about myself, and it might seem odd, was I actually was attracted to the discrete nature of transactions. Is that I worked in law, where a file stayed on your desk for a year. Million little problems within it never seemed to move off your desk. I really actually found out about myself that I like discrete tasks, where I would renew a commercial policy or write a commercial policy, and that may be my last touch on that for a year. I might, during the course of the year, that file comes back to me, but I get to move on to new clients consistently by the month. And there was something about that I really came to embrace and quite liked. Some people might like to deal with a file that never leaves their desk. In insurance, at larger brokerages, there are a lot of commercial files that never leave your desk because there's always something ongoing. So in a smaller brokerage, the discrete nature of most of the transactions I quite liked.
So exciting?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it is a very broad business. You know, it's a type of business people probably give very little, you know, unless they're exposed to it through a family, give very little thought to it as a career. But it is a career that once you get involved in it, you start to see that there are numerous angles and directions you can take and explore and get, you know, quite a bit of reward out of it.
Flexibility.
Yeah, you know, I think the key thing about being an insurance broker is flexibility in the type of. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think of the angle for, you know, employees, you know, when you enter the insurance industry, there's a variety of different types of brokerages. You may get small mom and pops, one or two people, a couple of employees. You know, there'll be a certain degree of flexibility with work files, types of business you work on. You get to a medium-type brokerage, we pride ourselves on our flexibility with our employees, even regarding work hours, types of work, activities, you know, things that they are comfortable with doing. We sort of try to cater our work around the types of employees that we have, the people and what their aptitudes and skill sets are. I'm not saying all brokerages are like that, but yeah, I really think that this is insurance brokerage as an industry is something that you can really carve out your own niche. Oh, that was.
Well, you
keep talking.
We'll go on this camp.
I do really think that insurance brokerage is really a career that you can really make your own. You can really carve out your own niche in it and explore things that you're interested in, and maybe expand your skill set and grow.
Being a broker.
Yeah, I think one of the keys getting into this business is, it's quite intimidating as a new broker getting in and taking courses, and you think it doesn't really let you know whether you're going to have the learning process, whether you think that it requires.
Let's start again, because we want to make sure we're starting from
Yeah.
a positive standpoint,
Yeah.
because we are doing career.
Yes.
progression.
I think in the insurance industry, mentorship is key. Young brokers that get into, or new brokers that get into the business, it's really important that an insurance brokerage provide the support that a young broker needs to move along in their career and advance. I think it's incumbent upon more senior brokers to take newer brokers under their wings and to instill in them the hard-earned knowledge that they've gained over a career, over a whole career.
Do you have any brokers? Any mentors?
I have my partner is my mentor. He's been in the
So
business.
what I'm trying to establish here is that there's not only mentorship going down, but
No.
you still have mentors.
I still have mentors. In fact, my brokerage, being a family brokerage, my current senior, my current partner, who is my mentor, my father was his mentor before him and brought him into the business 35 years ago. My partner was instrumental in bringing me into the business as well, and has mentored me along my career. We have different skills, absolutely. I come from a different background. His background is sales, mine was in law. But together, he's taught me a lot of skill sets about closing deals and making sure you renew insurance and negotiating with insurance companies to get terms. It's been key to my growth, has been his mentorship, as was his growth, my father's mentorship. And I'm turning around and doing the same thing within my brokerages and taking my commercial team and I'm mentoring them, not just in things that in commercial insurance, new products that they're not aware of, but just subtle techniques on how to close business and get to yes with clients. Yeah, you know what? Insurance is an exception.
Let's use the word broker.
Insurance, yeah, we don't want to get into insurance companies. You know what? Being an insurance broker is it is honestly, it's one of the broadest careers there is. There is a job for everyone who's hardworking and smart and ambitious. It is one of the, I feel it's one of the last sort of, of the careers where, they're not asking you what university you graduated from. They might, it helps, but they're asking you how hard you're going to work and if you're willing to put in the time and learn. You know what? It is a career that rewards. Insurance brokerage being an insurance broker is a career that rewards hard work. Really, and it's not credentials, it's hard work. You have to earn your credentials when you're in there, but it is a career that's meritocracy, and I think there's few industries left that are just pure meritocracy.